Hello, good morning. Welcome to Join News Desk with me, Mamisi Ghc280m. Coming up this hour, Office of the Special Prosecutor files criminal charges against former CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, and 7 individuals, plus 3 companies, over extortion and money laundering scheme involving more than 280 million Ghana cedis. Also coming up in our Habitat series, we take you to Jamestown, where many residents live in homes without lavatories, and some are forced to pay their landlords every time they need to do number 2.
I was having a running stomach, so it was late at night. I came here, the woman has slept, so I have to rush to the marketplace. Then when I get there, the place too was full, so I have to wait. And I was standing, I was like, hey, you ready? They didn't ever to me.
And we'll get you the latest on the originals of the National Science and Math Quiz, plus some business updates coming up as well on our desk. Do stay for details. In our first story, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed criminal charges against 7 individuals, 3 companies, including the former CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, over extortion and money laundering scheme involving over 280 million Ghana cedis. The OSP in a statement details the charges from investigations launched in late 2024 into alleged diversions of public funds within the petroleum sector. But before we get into the statement, let's do a flashback of the OSP's news conference earlier this year, specifically in June, where he hinted his office was working on the case involving the former NPA boss, Mustafa Abdul Hamid.
National Petroleum Authority. In November 2024, the OSP commenced investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of the operations of National Petroleum Authority, NPA, and the activities of some of its officials. The OSP investigation has revealed that between 2022 and 2024, some high-ranking and other officials of NPA devised and implemented a corrupt scheme of using public office for profit through threats, intimidation, coercion, suggestions, bribery, and inordinate regulatory duress to obtain for their personal benefit large sums of money from oil marketing companies and other entities under their statutory regulatory, licensing, oversight and monitoring mandates in the petroleum downstream industry. As at the close of business on 30 May 2025, the OSP had uncovered, through tracing and trailing, an amount of 280,516,127 cedis and 19 pesos, being proceeds of the corrupt scheme, some of which has been used by the perpetrators to acquire identified and traced apartments, suites, houses in country and abroad, 22 fuel haulage trucks, and the incorporation, acquisition, and operation of oil marketing companies to compete with the oil marketing companies they were regulating. The OSP, before the end of June, would file criminal charges against the first batch of the perpetrators and complicit oil marketing companies and their officials. Upon filing, we will brief you in detail in respect of who did what, who acquired what, and what has been recovered.
Alice, we are here now where names have been mentioned, and the OSP released a statement to that effect, and we'll go through that statement, quite a lengthy one, but bear with us. And the statement says the Office of the Special Prosecutor has charged 7 individuals, like we've already said, and 3 companies before the High Court, which is the Criminal Division in Accra, on multiple charges of extortion and money laundering arising from a sprawling corruption scheme within the NPA. And the accused persons, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, former CEO of the NPA. There's also Jacob Kwamela Imwa, coordinator UPPF, NPA, and MD of 3 corporate entities. That's there. Wendy Newman, she's NPA staff. Ankra, director, Kel Logistics Limited. There's also Isaac Mensah, director, Kel Logistics Limited. Bright Bediako Mensah, director, Kel Logistics and King's Energy Limited. Kwekwa Bwaje Aqua, director, King's Energy Limited. And also for the companies, Propnest Limited, Kel Logistics Limited, and King's Energy Limited. Now, reasons for the charges are that they stem from investigations by the OSP in late 2024 into unlawful conduct involving diversion of public funds and collusion with oil marketing and bulk distribution companies. Now, between 2022 and December 2024, the first 3 accused persons, acting under the color of their official duties, allegedly orchestrated and operated a criminal extortion scheme through which they unlawfully collected over 280 million Ghana cedis, specifically 280,516,127.19 pesos from petroleum transporters and oil marketing companies. Now, from the proceeds, Amwa is alleged to have handed 24 million Ghana cedis directly to Abdul Hamid between January and December 2024. An additional 227.2 million was channeled through Newman under Amwa's direction for further disbursement. Investigation further revealed that the 4th to 7th accused persons, in collaboration with the fugitive director of Kel Logistics Limited, created and utilized Propnest Limited, Kel Logistics Limited, and King's Energy Limited as vehicles for laundering the illicit proceeds. Laundered funds were used to purchase and construct houses, acquire trucks for an oil distribution business, and build fuel stations as part of efforts to conceal and disguise the origin of the criminal proceeds. All 7 individuals and 3 companies have been charged with a total of 25 counts, including extortion by a public officer, contrary to Section 151 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. Also, conspiracy to commit money laundering, contrary to Sections 23 of Act 29 and Sections 11, 12, and 4 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044. Now, money laundering, contrary to Sections 11, 12, and 4 of Act 1044. Now, 102J, a director of the 9th accused company, is currently at large. The accused persons have been apprehended and are set to appear on a date to be determined by the court for their pleas to be taken. The OSP reaffirms its commitment to investigating and prosecuting corruption and corruption-related offences without fear or favour, and urges all public institutions to remain vigilant and report suspected cases of corruption. Right, so those are the charges leveled against the accused persons. We'll engage some people on this later. But for now, let's do this one. Former national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, has declared his support for the party's 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, as the best candidate to lead the party into the 2028 elections. Speaking on PM Express with Evans Mensah, Mr. Blay, who becomes the first member of the NPP's National Council of Elders to publicly endorse a candidate, described Dr. Bawumia as the most marketable candidate among those seeking to lead the party.
Definitely, I have an opinion.
No, you are just a member of the National Council.
Yes.
You must have an opinion.
Definitely have an opinion.
Yes.
Definitely have
do you
an
support
opinion.
any of the aspirants?
I do.
Bawumia?
Definitely.
You support Bamia?
I support Bamia.
Why?
Well, I think he's best marketed. The candidate that I have not changed my opinion about the ideas that he had for this country. I think maybe we did not do the marketing very well. And people, we allow propaganda and agitation to cloud some people's perception. And for that matter, they did not consider him for the best. But let's give him a little more time. And let's see what other people are doing with regards to economy and governance. Then, of course, people in this country will see for what it is. I have not changed my opinion about him.
While touching on the party's reforms, he said that demands for changes are driven by the rank and file of the party, not necessarily an agenda being pushed by a certain bloc within the system.
We have a constitution. No, please don't talk about resetting. If people have an idea that we're resetting.
Is it the word reset that you have a quarrel with, or the fact that you need to reform?
Well, if you want to talk about reform, that's an I understand.
So is the word you have a quarrel?
No, if you say you want to reform, but even then, as I said, we are not reforming the party. The party isn't going into some that you say reform. We are making changes, yes?
Yeah, that's what you
propose. And the proposal for changes come from the members.
Yeah.
For anybody to sit down and say that you have to reset it, you have to reform, nothing is going absolutely wrong with. Maybe, as I said,
there's everything wrong with the MPP.
Huh?
There's everything wrong with your party now.
That's from your perspective.
No, it's not.
No, please.
The 2024 elections says it all.
No, listen.
The outcome
this is not the first time we've gone for an election and lost.
No, nobody has lost the way you lost in the 2024 election.
Before 2024,
yeah.
The NDC had not lost the way they lost.
Yes, but you've topped that. That's my point.
No, so we could maybe the next time they may be reduced to.
We don't have a maybe yet. The reality
no,
is,
listen, you can't predict. This is election.
For the first time,
no,
because you were deputy speaker first, and let me go back there. For the first time, you have a party in parliament right now with an absolute majority, 2/3. Never happened before. Because
maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know. 1992.
Yeah, that's an outlier. No, we don't count that. I mean,
let me tell you. You've made a very.
You didn't contest.
We didn't contest.
Yes.
1996, we were 65 out of 150. You don't know.
Yeah, but
no. You said this is the first time.
Was that 2/3?
No, wait.
At the time.
150. And we had less than NPP had less than 65. It's about 65 if you put the minorities together. That's what happened. So it was an overwhelming.
Well, Mr. Blay also revealed that former President Akufo-Addo should have listened to cries of MPs who called for the removal of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, noted that if he were to be the president, he would have listened to their request.
People argue that our own people argue. Like you said, the members of parliament, many of them, about over 90, when they said that, get rid of him for whatever it is. A lot of things have gone on.
You should have listened to them, right?
Maybe in my local parlance, for scheduled reasons, listen to the voice of your people who are following you. They say they want. But sometimes it's difficult. What do you think? I have no reason to do this. But if you say I should do it, I think one of these days, if you have the opportunity, you may have to argue with him or interview him about it. I had the privilege of discussing this one-on-one with him about it. At that time, the agitation was going on. And he was not convinced about that. And I respected his opinion. Although, maybe if I were him, I would say for scheduled reasons, I would say, let my friend go. But maybe he cared about the economy. He thought that he was handling it in the best way.
Well, the opposition New Patriotic Party will this Saturday host its delegates at the University of Ghana for their National Delegates Conference. Let's engage Alhaji Haruna Mohammed, who is Deputy General Secretary of the party. And he's also planning secretary to the planning committee. We're grateful for your time on our desk, Mr. Haruna.
Thank you, madam.
So it's just on Saturday. So far, what's the status of planning?
Thank you very much. I first and foremost will say good morning to your cherished viewers. An update of the conference is that grounds is prepared. Stage will be built from tomorrow. All invitations to persons who are going to be invited to the program has duly been informed. Members of the diplomatic corps has formed our external branch have arrived. As at yesterday, we had over 104 who had arrived from all the diaspora. We are expecting to get 200, 300 of them, the institutional design of the delegates from the diaspora. Transportation arrangements has also been expected. Those people who will be coming from far from the northern state will be taken off from today. Arrival tomorrow. They will be taken care of in terms of accommodation. All of them have been put together. The 5 northern regions plus the 3 northern plus the 3 Bono regions will all pass PSA, and the rest of the regions will live at Anakanzu. All transportation arrangement has also been put in place. For those who are very closer to Accra, feeding has also been done. All those coming as delegates into the conference on Friday will have their supper, and conference will start on Saturday by 8 a.m. Arrival and registrations will be done. Motions for presentation on conference per the Constitution in Article 19 is also ready. The Constitutional Review Committee, who has been put in place, headed by lawyer Frank Davis, will be leading that particular charge. All speeches to conference has also been duly received and filed for conference day. All committees have also reported back to the Central Committee on all the necessary preparations towards the conference. Today, as I stand, we are going to have the security briefing with the Ghana Police Service and other security agencies as to how the security arrangement is going to go. Ambulance is there, the fire service is there, and our health committee has also put in all the measures to ensure that we are able to protect the lives of the delegates that will be here and all invited guests. We have made arrangements at the University of Ghana Medical Center. They have given us some facility at the emergency. 10 professionals are put in there purposely for the conference to be able to manage that. We have 5 medical scans at the on the floor of the conference. 2 will be outside and 3 will be inside the stadium. And we have about 80 health professionals who will be managing these particular centers to ensure that the safety of these individuals coming in for the conference is much assured. So I can tell you that we are on, and tomorrow is the day that most of the activities will be happening. Media will receive your accreditation from 10 a.m. up to 4 p.m. We'll be able to get your accreditation set. You'll also be given the opportunity at the media village to set up to ensure that we'll be able to get accurate reports from the media village as to how the communication and media platforms are going to be created for all of you. I believe that this program is going to be of much success, and we need the cooperation of everybody. We also want to assure the people that this is a delegate conference. If you are not a delegate, please don't be forcing to get access to the place. Let's get the time. The Constitution has given the structures of the party to take decisions on your behalf. Don't want to be part of the decision making once you have already given your power to the delegates to decide. Just as we have given the members of parliament to take decisions and make laws for us, and we don't interfere in what they do, let's allow the delegates to also make the laws for us, make the amendment so that the party structures will be able to work and get through. I can see the excitement. I can see the exuberance. I can see the feel. I can see how people want to participate. But I want to use this platform to appeal to them that we don't need everybody here. We need just a few of their representation that they have chosen for us to represent us as it is stated in Article 10.2 of the party's constitution of the representation of conference.
Well, aside voting for your national executives, there's also the conversation about the policy or strategies of the party moving forward. There's been much talk about the expansion of the electoral college. I mean, what's the thinking in that direction? Though we've had other views on it, especially your former national chairman, Freddie Blay, also sharing some concerns on it, though saying that it's not possible. But gauging the mood of your national executives coming to vote, what do you make of it?
For now, we as national executives or delegates that will be taking decisions now would not be very judgmental. The processes that will lead to some of these things getting the sunshine is the conference. We have been able to exercise our right till 9th day, where we have sent all our proposals. At this particular point in time, my stand cannot change what it is. It is the decision of conference that will give light to what we are all proposing. I may like somebody, why not allow friends to that decision so that it from there and communicate the decision of conference.
How also would you gauge the mood with regards to unifying the grassroots of the party at this particular conference?
I think that is the topmost priority to every political party, not only the New Patriotic Party. And I think that unity is a process, peace too is a process. So all these things is going to be factored in. Most of these are centered on how you play on the emotions, how you play on people's sentiment, how you play on people's understanding. This is played out within a process, but not an event. So I believe that everybody has a role to play to ensure that all of us get the understanding and the needed unity will come. Unity doesn't come from one. Unity comes in many, in purpose. And that is why when you pick a broom and you pick one out of that, you'll be able to break it. But if you put it together, however, whichever way you do it, because of the unity in purpose, you will not be able to destroy it. And that is what the MPP seeks and telling the grassroots that we need to get united and get back to power.
Thank you so much, Haruna Mohammed. He is Secretary to the Planning Committee of the New Patriotic Party's Delegate Conference, which comes off on Saturday. And we trust Joy News to bring you every, latest update of that particular conference here live, carried out on all our channels, including the Joy News channel. So you have to stay tuned here. Well, let's engage Chairman of the African Union Advisory Board on Corruption, Adam Senanu, on that first story about the OSP, announcing some wanted persons on NP and some corruption schemes there. Adam, we're grateful for your time this morning on our desk. And the OSP claims that over 280 million Ghana cedis serving through an authorized scheme or a corruption scheme. I mean, considering the large sum, how was this, diversified such that it didn't draw attention? I mean, I'm thinking through it and I'm wondering how this didn't poke the attention of anyone till now.
Well, first, good morning to all your viewers and those who've come in. The public release statement by the OSP suggests that this was some form of extortion, where perhaps if you wanted particular services from the NPA, you were required to make certain payments, on which basis then things will proceed. I mean, sometimes the way this is done is that you just recognize that your documentation does not seem to be making progress week after week, month after month, and then you go and see somebody who sees somebody, and then things start moving. And so it's not unusual where you have such cases of extortion that you have some people who are collecting the money, and if you do, then it's like a facilitation fee. And this is not done openly. So it is possible that this was being collected, and obviously that is ultra varies the policy and legal framework we have in place.
What would you say about auditing of these state institutions, especially the NPA? I mean, seeing what has happened now, what are the lapses that you think must have been identified?
You know, usually because these are monies that are paid outside the accounting system, it would not come up as an issue to be flagged if you audited the accounts, because the statutory payments required for processing would all be there and accounted for within the system. So the documentation will show you were supposed to pay 50 CDs or 1,000 CDs for this. It's all there. 10,000 for that is there. This was additional payments. And so as a facilitation fee, what it is that, yes, you've paid your 10,000, you are entitled to this form, or you've paid your 500 Ghana, you're entitled to this process. Yet nothing seems to be moving. You come and see us behind the counter and pay this additional amount. That is not recorded anywhere. So it is not surprising that neither internal audits nor external audits will see this, because this is an issue of extortion. These are monies outside the statutory amounts that are required for citizens to pay for their services. And so unless you have a whistleblower, some patriotic citizen who is aware that this occurred and feels that it needs to be addressed, and then they provide the information. And then when you're able to get enough witnesses to corroborate it, that is when an agency like the OSP can take it up. So it is not the kind of thing that would have been picked up by an audit ordinarily. You have to go beyond audits to be able to get this kind of information.
Considering the involvement of high-ranking officials, I mean, in this case, for instance, some too are alleging that it may be a political witch hunt. Do you agree?
I'm not quite sure whether why this issue of political witch hunt keeps coming up. Facts are facts, and I think that we should not lend credence to this kind of narrative. I think it's also important that as Ghanaians and as citizens, we should know that part of our accountability mechanism is that when you are out of government, the microscope will be put to all the things that you've done. And anything that clearly has breached a law, you'll be held accountable. The question is, are the facts that have been adduced by the OSP substantive? Do they show that a law or a policy has been breached? I believe so. And so the persons who've breached whichever policies and laws must be held accountable. And when you're being held accountable for the breaches of a law, you should not begin to cry witch hunting. I mean, the facts will speak for themselves.
What safeguards do you think should be introduced to ensure that petroleum funds are insulated from personal or political manipulation?
I think that providing many more platforms and channels for individuals who have been one way or another, compelled to pay monies or to engage in actions that they know are contrary to the law, be able to report this. I think it's important. So a lot of public education on the laws and policies and what is required of you if you want to engage in certain sectors is required. But beyond that, let's also publicize the platforms, channels, and spaces where you can seek redress. You can report when people unduly take advantage of you to force you to make payments you ought not to make, or to follow procedures that you are clear your mind you ought not to, because you know that eventually, these facts may come out and then you'll be held culpable. So I think that a lot more education is required. Also, let's make sure we've institutionalized platforms to make it easy for people to report or to whistleblow when these things occur.
Right. We're grateful for your time, Adam Senanu, on this discussion. President John Mahama has directed that traders affected by the construction of the Ghc280m Market Phase 2 project be given first priority when the market is completed. He says both phases of the project will provide space for some 20,000 traders. The president made the remarks during his thank you tour of the Ashanti region, where he revealed that the construction of the new Accra-Kumasi Expressway will begin next year and will be completed before the end of his tenure in 2029.
Hundreds of market women at the Ghc280m market screamed in excitement as they welcomed President Mahama shortly after he wrapped up an inspection of ongoing works on the second phase of the Ghc280m market project. One of the market leaders did not hold back her frustration with the previous administration for failing to complete the project after 8 years. She expressed confidence that President Mahama would deliver. She said, "You've been in office for only 6 months," she says, "but we are amazed by what you've already done for traders. You have made trading easier for us. Thank you." She continued, "We believe you are the one who can finish this project." "Our father, my only wish is that after 4 years, you seek re-election. We, the traders, will vote for you," she says. In his address, President Mahama assured the traders that those who are affected by the project would be prioritized once it's completed.
Ejumane drew 66% completion. Enti ye be shemukina tene beya ombetimi awie ne ntem ebedru afi eba ebedru na wie ye no na chese edwa no ye wie kra.
He said, "The work is 66% complete. We are going to fast track it so it is done on time. It will be ready by the end of next year. The combined first and second phases will accommodate about 20,000 traders. Those who are affected during the second phase construction will be given priority before new allocations are made. The contractor has also agreed to repair the section of phase 1 that was affected by the fire," he says.
Ye omu free ho say ye besi phase 2 no ya chiro mu nyina di fefefe enti ye wie say dwa na omo ene de ombekwa akotena ho first ansa na ya je ebi nso abeka ho na ansa na ebe wie phase 2 no so contractor no age atumu say baby a ehye ya eye phase 1 no.
Later at a thank you thereby held at the Jubilee Park, President Mahama reiterated his commitment to completing key development projects in the Ashanti region, including the Ghc280m Market Phase 2, the Swami Interchange, and the Krofro Market.
Before I came here, I visited the market and I spoke to the contractors. And we're going to accelerate work on it. And by the grace of God, next year, we'll be able to go with Otumfuo Osei the second and open that market. Under the big push, we're going to continue the Swami Interchange and complete it.
Now to my favorite part of the show, let's get the latest on the originals of the National Science and Math Quiz. We start with Adobe Asari or Collins Rainport. Let's start with Collins first in the northern region, then we'll go to Adobe Asari from the eastern region. Collins, what can you report from the northern region today?
Yes, Mami, welcome to the Tamale Senior High School, where currently we are having the zonal championship underway. And the first contest involves Tamale Islamic Science Senior High School, as well as our Senior High School from Bogatanka, who qualified, from the Upper East region, who qualified within their contest. So when they were coming, they had issues with their bicycle, their motor, and they also had to walk for minutes. They actually had a distance of 32 kilometers before they go to Upper West and had to qualify within that particular slot. Today, they are competing in the first contest alongside and a private school, which also is joining the first contest. You know, the qualifiers, the NSMQ rules do not allow a private senior high school to compete in the qualifiers. So the private school named as Ghc280m Senior High School are also joining the first contest in the zonal championship. So in all, we are having 20 schools, one being a private school. But we have Ghana Senior High School, that's for President John Mahama's alma mater, also competing, as well as Lordina Mahama. So both of them, they will be hoping that their school, who are current zonal champions, will make it to the final tomorrow and qualify. Tamale Senior High School are also in the last contest. They will be competing over there later today. In contest 2, we have one of the schools that secured the highest points. That's Tamale Business School. They had 66 points in their contest. Imagine a business school getting one of the highest points.
Yeah.
So they're competing alongside another business school from Tamale. That's the oldest business school in Tamale. So we will have 2 business schools competing over here. So in all 5 different contests, 20 schools are involved, 1 private school, 19 public schools, and we will be having at least 5 of them also securing a place in the finals for tomorrow. You don't necessarily need to win your contest. 40 points will be enough for the finals tomorrow.
But Collins, interestingly, these business schools, private schools seem to be doing so well in the competition. Have you been finding out what's making them stand out this year in the competition? I mean, the science school seems to be getting a run for their money.
Yes, for Nobu School, even though it is a business school, they have intentionally set up a science department who they are only interested in science courses. So even though they are much known for business programs, they are also trying to do that. And business school, Tamale Business School, last year they missed out. This year they came in and they also want to make it. But another point is that we have a school also coming in from Savannah, which they defeated Damango. I'm referring to the T.I. Ahmadiyya Salaga Senior High School. This is their first time that they are competing. When you go to Savannah, Damango is the school that everybody knows that every year they have been qualifying for the national championship. But yesterday was different. They lost massively to Salaga Senior High School, today will be hoping to secure a place in the zonal championship final for the first time in their history.
All right. Thank you so much, Collins, for that update in the northern region. Well, let's go to the eastern region. Adobia Sari. Sam wants to know when
one type of isolation in species. That occurs.
Mommy, please come again.
Sam, my producer, he wants to know when Pope John is competing.
You should relax. Right now, the defending champions are on. We want to know if they'll still defend or they're going to leave it for someone else. I'm leaving it for someone else. So we are done. We wrapped up with the regional qualifiers yesterday. So today the championship has begun. Some defending champions outside. They are watching the contest from outside because the auditorium is full, and they want to destroy my ears with shouts, which is acceptable. So I'm not SHTS. Are currently contesting in a very fierce contest. It's quite interesting. So far, KSTS is scoring. Scoring. So we're just waiting to see how the contest is going to go. Are you people maintaining the trophy or something?
Our network seems to be giving us some problems there, but you can see some excitement in the background there with Adobe Asari bringing us the latest from the Eastern region in the National Science and Math Quiz. We'll definitely bring you the latest and the results of these competitions today. Well, you're still watching Joy News Desk. We'll take a break. We'll return with business.
Welcome back to Business on News Desk. My name is Winston Taki, and out to our first business story. All is set for the 11th edition of the APSA UPSA Law School Quarterly Banking Roundtable, scheduled for today at 3 p.m. At the University of Professional Studies, the topic to be discussed is Ghana's legal tender, monetary policy, and the rising city. Gertrude Amoko Ama is the coordinator of the APSA Bank UPSA Law School Quarterly Roundtable and has been speaking to Joy Business.
Very significantly, and like we did observe, our special guest of honor, as well as the keynote speaker for tomorrow's event, is none other than the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama. We'll also be joined by Mr. Adolf Bega, who is the Executive Director, Strategy and Operations at Absa Bank, and also Mr. Yao Apia Latte. Yao is a Financial Advisory Partner and Africa Infrastructure Lead at Deloitte Ghana. The discussion will be moderated by Madam Emmeline Afiofosu, who is a Corporate and Investment Bank, who is with the Corporate and Investment Bank Division at EcoBank PLC. And with this very stellar cast of panelists that we have put together, they'll be discussing issues relating to the significant changes that we have, or the significant appreciation that we have experienced with the Ghana cedi, and how all of this is happening within the context of, evolving monetary policy dynamics and also shift in economic policy. So we are all set for tomorrow. We look forward to a very wonderful discussion.
Now, the SSNIT has consistently been advocating for compliance across 8 divisions in Ghana. There is more in this report.
The virtual platform will enable users to perform various transactions, including registration, contribution payments, and benefit applications from the comfort of their own offices or homes. By leveraging its virtual branches, SSNIT hopes to increase compliance rates by making it easier for employers to register and pay contributions for their employees. Speaking to Joy Business at the Employers' Breakfast meeting, Director General of SSNIT, Kwesi Afre-Binin, said the increased accessibility and convenience of its virtual services will encourage more employers to comply with contribution requirements, ultimately boosting the scheme's coverage and sustainability.
We're targeting to take compliance to about 90% between this year and end of next year. And we believe it's possible because over the last 5 years, we've moved from about 60% to close to 80% today. So we are pretty confident that if we continue these engagements and get it right and provide the convenience that makes it easier for people to be compliant, we can scale above 90% within the next 24 months. What we are seeking to do is to scale that to the next level, where you have a virtual branch manned by people. So today, for instance, somebody dials into our data center and requests for things to be done. At that point, that person picks the information and relies on the existing departments or branches to give you feedback. The strategy now is that let's have a fully compliant virtual branch, where once you dial in, there's somebody who is readily available to serve you and to give you a quicker feedback.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Employers Association, Alex Frimpong, pledged their commitment to support SSNIT to achieve its targeted contribution rate of 90%.
Times are changing, and it is very important that SSNIT also change the way they interact with employers and also the contributing public. So the digital innovation is quite impressive, and I would urge everyone to make sure that they visit the sites and they transact business with SSNIT seamlessly. The whole world is moving into a digital economy, and SSNIT must make sure that once employers get used to the digital platform, they work it in such a way that it will enhance the interaction, it will enhance the technology, and also it will enhance the contribution and compliance.
The Employers' Breakfast meeting was on the theme strengthening employers' compliance for a sustainable pension scheme through digital transformation.
That's all for business here on Newsdesk. My name is Winston Taki. Over to you, Mami, for the rest of the bulletin.
Thank you, Wednesday. Now, imagine needing to use the lavatory late at night, but your home has none. In Jamestown, that's the daily reality for many, including 23-year-old Evelyn, who walks long distances and pays each time nature calls. Some residents are even charged by their landlords per visit. Florence Ahondagbe reports for our Habitat series.
Jamestown is one of Ghana's oldest communities. Here, home is not always a place of comfort. For many families, daily survival means more than just affording rent. It's about access to life's most basic dignity. 23-year-old Evelyn lives here with her fiancé and their young daughter. The wooden structure she calls home has no toilet.
Because we don't have washroom in this house, so we have to pay. But we didn't know there's no washroom. You go outside and pay for it, then you can use the washroom. I've had a random story, but for that situation, you have to make sure you have money on you. If not that, you disgrace yourself. So the washroom that you don't have around or in this house there, it's a problem.
When nature calls, Evelyn must pay to answer every single time. And when the gates to public toilets are locked, desperation takes over.
All that I do is I make sure I have money on me so that I can use the washroom outside every day, anytime that I want to use the washroom. But as for this place, the woman used to lock it around 8 to 9. It's locked. So if you go there in the slope, you have to move for it, go to the market place to go and use that place.
She pays 150 cedis monthly for rent, cheaper than her former place at Timber Market. But the savings come with steep trade-offs.
I've rented for 3 times in the market, the Timber Market. When I was there, we pay rent, we pay for the bath. Even you go to the washroom, so you pay for it. But for this place, we don't pay for the bath. You just have your water, then you go and bath.
When it rains, water gushes through the porch. The house, she says, is not just inconvenient, it's unsafe.
So even our porch, when it rains, it comes inside there. And we didn't know that because we didn't come to rent. The time we came, it wasn't raining season, so we didn't notice that. It's just now that we have started noticing that. So we have even decided to move when our 1 year is up.
Evelyn has come far. From sleeping on pavements outside a company building at Arena to this room she now calls home.
Sleeping outside. That was when I met my husband. Yeah. We were sleeping at Sujamine, that company at Arena. Yeah. We were sleeping outside there. That's where we used to sleep. Before the town, we got an amount of money, then we moved to the market.
But her story mirrors the silent struggles of thousands. According to the 2021 Population and Housing Census, 17.7% of urban households in Ghana still have no access to toilet facilities.
To my husband, after you'll be like, we don't pay any power. But it's not that. Because if I know my number, if you are not a come to see her, and if I don't know, I want to say, I'm not going to be an also, then I need you home. But back what I can say, we for me because I need to on the toilet 20 feet.
In Accra, paying rent does not guarantee dignity. In some homes, tenants must pay per use to answer nature's call or rely on neighbors if they are lucky.
I remember I took a drug and my stomach I was having a running stomach. So it was late at night. I came here, the woman was asleep, so I have to rush to the marketplace. Then when I get there, the place too was full, so I have to wait. And I was standing, I was like, hey, you ready? They didn't ever to me. It's in the good when you are so Hana. So the man there, the one taking the money, have to go and tell those inside to hurry up because there's someone outside. That's what happened.
Evelyn's struggle is not hers alone. It reflects a deeper failure in housing standards. It's time the state holds landlords accountable to provide the basic amenities like toilets in every rental home. Florence Ahodagbe, Joy News, Jamestown, Palladium.
And that's all time will allow us on our decks today. I am Senior Thompson. There's more news on myjoyonline.com.